there, sweeties. This is Raven Nightshade from the new badass podcast about Southern Witchery, HEX Appeal, and the fearless leader and high priestess of the Silver Moon Society Coven right here in South Georgia. I'm here doing a little shameless promoting today for Anchor. You haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest and cheapest way to make your very own podcast just like me. Best part, abso-freaking-lutely free. It has everything you need to record, edit, and distribute your podcast right from your iPhone or Android, tablet, laptop, or PC. And I do mean everything you need. Anchor will distribute your podcast to multiple platforms for you, so your voice will be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Download the app for free on iTunes, your Android, or anchor.fm to get started today.
Well, hello there, sweeties, and welcome to HEX Appeal. This is Raven Nightshade, the fearless leader and high priestess of the Silver Moon Society Coven right here in Southeast Georgia, and the hostess of HEX Appeal with Raven Nightshade. Tonight's episode is going to have two segments. The first segment is going to be about kitchen witchcraft and some details about kitchen witchcraft. And the second segment will be our 13 questions, or what we like to call an interview with some witches. Tonight with us for our show for episode 6, we have Azera and Eris that are going to be helping me out here. So without further ado, we will commence with segment 1. So, kitchen witchcraft. It usually refers to a witch that deals with the hearth and home, who does domestic magic, uses what she has on hand to accomplish her goals magically, and well, otherwise too, if you think about it, like home remedies and healing stuff, but most of the time, the witchcraft part is emphasized because it's magic, obviously, because of the intent. Now, the kitchen witchcraft does work because of the intent, but also about your effort and the work that you put into it. Usually a kitchen witch has a lot of knowledge about brews, herbs, remedies, and how to prepare them, like how to blend things, mix them, and there are different ways that you can prepare these herbs. You can make domestic, medicinal, and magical items. You can make teas and tinctures. A tea, everyone knows, is hot water with the herbs steeped in it for however long. Usually the longer, like if it's medicinal, the longer you leave the herb in there, the more potent it is. So if you plan on leaving it a long time with some stuff, you may not want to put too much of the herb in it. With tinctures, usually you take something like Everclear or isopropyl alcohol, and you'll soak the herbs in it, and that's basically going to draw all of the chemicals, the magical and medicinal. Damn it. Anyways, it's going to draw all of that stuff out, and you could strain it later. Usually you let that sit for however long. It could be a few hours if you want something light. It could be weeks even, But usually that stuff does tend to have somewhat of a shelf life, depending on what herb it is. Let's see here now. So the next thing would be oils and essential oils and oil blends, rather. So an essential oil and a true oil is basically derived directly from the plant. It doesn't have any additives. It's not, the plant wasn't soaked in anything. It's basically concentrated plant. And then the blends have like a carrier oil in it, which would be some people use like extra virgin olive oil. That's always a good go-to if you're trying to do oil blends. extra virgin olive oil is affordable, and you could pretty much get like some rose oil, and boom, you've got a rose oil blend. You can put it in a diffuser. You can use it for spell magic, for like love spells, which, not that type of love spell. That kind of love spell doesn't work. It could be like a romance spell or something like that. Now, there's also incense blends, which anyone who practices witchcraft knows that real incense are basically ground up herbs or ground up resins, or even like sandalwood or something like that, which is a type of wood. It's basically plant life that has been dried and ground up. And you can blend certain ones with other certain things like gum arabic as a bonding agent to make these incense blends. You can make cones or whatever, or you can just burn the dried herbs on top of the little charcoal discs, like people use for hookahs. And then there's smoke blends, which is basically an herbal blend. Like some people will smoke like Damiana or catnip or something like that to help them relax. There's that. Native Americans, they have several different blends that they use in their peace pipes. And let's see, there are floor washes. Now, a floor wash is basically you're going to make something that you're going to clean your space with. This is like a voodoo thing, root working type magic, or like folk magic. But basically, if I wanted to do a floor wash that was going to drive away negativity, I would take herbs that drive away negativity, and I would make a blend with like some water and some sea salt, stuff like that, maybe a little vinegar, and you just blend all that together, and you'll wash the whole area, the whole floor with it, and it basically puts out those vibes that the plant puts out. So that's one way of doing it. That's kind of better than like burning a sage bundle for some people, because some people have asthma and they can't handle the smoke. Let's see, another one would be like magical powders. I don't know if any of you have heard of hot foot powder. My coven members, Eris and Azera, know that I have a giant jar of hot foot powder over there that I mixed up. And hot foot powder is basically, it rids you of people or things in your life that you no longer want there. So it kind of like get the hell up out of here type powder. So I have some of that, and it's pretty good shit. There's poultices, which is basically a healing thing mostly. Like if you get a bruise and you take like some, mugwort, I think is a good one, and like dampen it and wrap it in some gauze and apply it to yourself and let it sit there. There's different herbs you can use. But anyways, even like for muscle cramps and stuff, I think lavender will be a good one for something like that. But it will help like relax, or the medicinal properties go in through the skin, basically. And because of it being damp and warm, it helps kind of amplify it a little bit. Now, there's also, back on the more magical side, there's mojo bags, gris, and medicine bags, which all of these are similar in that they're basically like a little bag or a pouch that have herbs, usually something that, like in the shaman bags, the medicine bags, they'll have something that can be used as a medicine, or it could be like a magical medicine, like something to rid a place of evil spirits or bad mojo, basically. And then there's the mojo bags, which obviously also work for mojo. And then there's the gris, which are basically the same as a mojo, I think. So there are also poppets, which are basically kind of like voodoo dolls. They're little puppets that you make. You can stuff those with herbs. That's how I make mine. Put herbs in there for the properties that you're looking for. If you're doing a protection doll, you could put like rose petals and lavender and some white sage, and this is all good things. So another thing is a sachet, and those usually put out good smells, but they also put out good vibes depending on your plant material. Another thing would be dream pillows, which is kind of like a sachet that you basically put inside your pillowcase with like lavender or something in it to help you rest or have prophetic dreams or something like that. There's also prepared food magic. Prepared food magic, this one's, as everyone knows, there are certain foods that have magical properties. Actually, most of them do. Probably not SpaghettiOs or something, but, you can probably, like apples are like a very magical fruit, because if you slice an apple horizontally, if you look at it, there's a pentagram there, the star. where the seeds are. Also, it's thought to have been the forbidden fruit on the tree of knowledge in some circles. And also, just it's a very good fruit to have on hand because it grows a lot of places. It's very good for any kind of abundance type harvest spells, or like offerings. And apples also have magical properties. I do not have those before me right now, so I'm going to let you look that one up on your own. But there's also other types of prepared food magic. Eris and I were just talking about that a few minutes ago, and Azera, and how there are certain circles that practice fidelity spells with menstrual blood and barbecue chicken or spaghetti sauce or something like that to keep your lover true to you. Now, I repeat, I do not advise doing this because, first of all, it's fucking grody. Second of all, that's like a major health hazard, right? I mean, yeah, be sanitary, be safe, and that's definitely like not keeping social distance. I mean, that's bad. Okay.
Plus, that's on the line of obsession, and be careful
It is.
what you ask for.
Exactly.
You might feel you're in love, and I want him to love me, and you're
No.
like, okay, let's break up.
No, love magic don't work like that. No, that's a lust magic. That's different.
I think the blood, though, has something to make you just...
Yeah. That's like a dog. They say if a dog bites you and draws blood, it'll thirst for it.
I think it's something that affects the... Because humans are not supposed to consume blood, so if you're consuming this, and it's... it's disgusting. I would not recommend it on no level.
Yeah. Okay, so after prepared food magic, we have living plant magic. And if any of you have, by the way, shout out to my book. If any of you have downloaded my book off of Amazon, it is HEX Appeal, a little book of Southern witchery and paganism. If you will go on to Amazon, you can download the ebook for $3.33. The all-powerful power of three. And then you can order the paperback for $7. So, yep. In there, I will tell you all about the very first spell that I've got in there. I've got several spells, many dating back to medieval days, but and way back. Anyways,
there's a lot of interesting information that you've got in there, and the language is amazing.
Thank you.
So colorful.
Thank you. Yeah, I usually try to keep my language pretty colorful. So, anyways,
it's definitely not a boring read.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, but yeah, and the very first spell that I have in there, though, is a living plant spell, and it's called the potato spell, and it's basically to strengthen your love. Now, in this type of magic, this is where you grow a plant, and the magic grows with it. The more you tend to the plant, this is like a long-term spell. You're putting a lot into it. This is an ongoing thing for you, so you're not just going to do this. It's not just, like a set it and forget it type thing. This is like, you have to tend to this, and it takes a lot. And living plant magic, I think, is probably a very powerful form. But in the potato spell, what you do is you take a potato and you slice it down halfway. And then you take, like, personal items from your lover or, the person that you're in love with, your mate or whatever, and yourself. This can be hair, this can be nail clippings, this could be a picture or handwriting or, anything of theirs, anything personal that's, like, imprinted, from that person or from yourself, or actually both of you. You'll put those in there. You'll get a little piece of paper and make a hoodoo petition, which is very simple. Look it up. And then you'll put like some love herbs, like, I don't know, rose petals. You can put lavender for calmness and serenity, and white sage for protection. There's, just depending on exactly what you're looking for. You'll take all these things and you'll get a pink or red ribbon, depending on how much passion you want. Red, of course, being more. Pink is more of a gentle, loving, that romantic type, I guess, without the sex. Anyways, or I'm sure sex is there, but you know what I'm saying. But anyways, you'll take this and you'll put it between the middle of the potato, and then you're going to wrap it with a ribbon, and you're going to say your spell that you're going to write yourself, or look it up in my book. Okay, you're going to wrap it, say your little spell 3 times 3. Usually it is very effective. And you're going to bury it in a plant of potting soil, like a potter plant, a flower pot. with some potting soil, or you're going to bury it in the ground. And you're going to tend this and grow it into a potato plant. And as the plant grows, as will your connection. So that is a very cool spell to try. I've done it before. It was with the wrong person, so it was really hard to get away from his ass after that. But I did. Anyways. All right. So do you guys have any that you want to talk about? Any techniques or anything? Or?
This is all kind of new to me.
Right.
I mean, to me at first, a kitchen witch, I was excited to have herbs growing in my kitchen window,
Yeah.
you know, for
Yeah.
use in cooking. It
Yes.
kind of felt special to me.
Yes.
I always try to put as much love and intention in whatever I'm actually cooking, my meals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part of it as well. I mean, just
I think, but also, so with me, like, whenever I do any kind of growing of anything, it is always very grounding for me. I just feel better. I mean, it's the vibes from it, you know. It's like I don't know. It's kind of like a give and take thing with the plant.
My little cherry tomatoes.
Exactly. They give me fruit and
puts
satisfaction, and I give them water and plant food.
That's also very satisfying when you get done growing.
It is.
And,
it gives you really.
Your spouse picks them off the plant, and
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, this is amazing." You know,
Yeah.
I grew that.
Yes, that's right. I've done that. You're welcome. Me and the goddess in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, that's that, and also now I do want to say this though. Hedge witches and kitchen witches are not exactly the same. They're very similar in that they deal with herbs and stuff, but hedge witches are, you know, they're into other stuff too outside usually. But sometimes they are confused, or sometimes they refer to as the same type of witch. But to me, I mean, kitchen witches also deal with more domestic stuff. Like there's one thing that I heard of, and this comes from a Christian family, okay? And there was a woman, she had a son who was a teenager, and he cut himself, and he was bleeding pretty profusely. She took this knife, like a big bladed knife or something, ran it under cold water for a second, and then pressed the blade onto the boy's hand or whatever it was that got cut, and said some prayers, and it stopped hurting and it stopped bleeding, and you could hardly even tell that it was there. It's like a healing thing, like faith healing type thing. And I think that would kind of fall under kitchen witchery too, because that's on the domestic front. And you know, I know Eris was talking about some a little while ago too, some tricks like with the sugar and the hiccups. Right?
The sugar, if you got hiccups, take like a teaspoon of sugar, let it dissolve in your mouth. If you got bad cough, do the honey.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a green thumb.
Right.
But I love the herbs and all the home remedies and stuff. I just didn't inherit the green thumb.
Yeah, well, you don't have to have a green thumb for that, though. I mean,
but I got fellow coven members that do. So I mean, just rob y'all's place.
Nah. Usually, I mean, it goes hand in hand, but you don't have to be a hedge witch to be a kitchen witch. You know.
Sounds like kitchen witch. You know, is very organic.
It is like, I mean, well, I don't know. Hedge witches are probably more, you know, like into like out in the dirt and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But like with kitchen witches, I mean, you could take anything and make a recipe and easily convert it into a spell. It's all about intent, all about what you're putting into it and what you're intending, what you're willing to happen, you know.
Would like doing the protection with the salt outside your door,
I think that's kitchen witchery. Yeah, that salt usually comes from the kitchen, so I myself consider that kitchen witchery. But I mean, I think they all kind of bleed together, a lot of them, in many ways, because I mean, you don't have to be a kitchen witch to be able to protect your house with salt or brick dust or whatever. But you know, but a lot of times, like I said, with kitchen witchery, kitchen witches, most of it's like the hearth and home, and like I said, a lot of times herbs, but you don't have to grow the herbs. I mean, for me, it's therapeutic to the actual gardening. Of course, you wouldn't think that right now if you see my garden, but you guys see it, and it looks like shit out there. But anyways, it's just so hot. My flowers are perishing from the damned heat.
If it ain't hot, it's flooding, and it's.
I know.
You can't get out in the rain. And
it's August weather. It's dog days of summer, man. Dog days of summer. All right, so okay, I guess that's pretty much it for the first segment on kitchen witchery. I know that we did not cover everything, but you know, we're gonna have our 13 questions, and then we're probably gonna have a little conversation after that. But if you guys will just give us a moment and listen to a word from our sponsor, we will be right back. Well, hello there, sweeties, and welcome back to episode 6 of HEX Appeal with Raven Nightshade. And for segment 2 of this episode, we're going to be doing our 13 questions, or what we like to call an interview with some witches. Not an interview with a vampire, an interview with some witches. So, number 1, this episode being all about kitchen witches, herbs fit right in. Number 1 is, do you like herb magic? Oh, and I'm sorry, before we go any further, also, Farron is here with us also, as well as Eris and Azera still. So, Farron has decided to grace us and be here for the 13 questions segment. So, back to it. Number 1, do you like herb magic?
Farron, do you like herb magic?
We know what kind of herb magic you like, Farron.
Devil's lettuce.
She likes the devil's lettuce, the star flower.
Wacky
backy. The devil's lettuce.
The giggle bush.
The giggle bush. You know what? I thought you were going somewhere else with that one.
I don't want to know. I'm scared.
I'm new to herb magic,
I
so
thought you said I'm nude. You started it. You started a Farron.
when you're
We're
so
not-
next to Farron, you
we're
never
not-
know what's gonna happen.
We're not those kinds of witches.
Yes, we are. Don't lie to them.
That's not what you said on the full moon when we were dancing the other night.
Yeah, we were sky clad too.
Okay.
I'm
What was the
practicing some
question?
herb magic, so I don't remember.
Say what now?
What was the question again?
Do you like herb magic? Do you like using magic that requires herbs?
Yes.
Yes, I do too. I like that. I like because it involves. Usually, most spells require some action from all of the elements. The spirit being you. The herbs, of course, would be earth. Incense would be air, water, or wine. Usually, water, is for water, and then the candle would be for fire. So if you're doing a spell, it's usually good to include those components. I mean, they usually are more effective if you incorporate all of those elements. And then the circle on the pinnacle for protection. So if you think about that, you got all 5 elements with a circle, and that is magic itself.
I have a question on that.
Yes,
When
ma'am.
you're doing the herb magic, would this make it better? I mean, you have all the things, but since, like, to grow a herb, it's in the earth.
Uh-huh.
You need sunlight.
Yes.
You need water.
Yes.
So does that make it what's more potent, other than the intent, but due to the fact it's kind of got double that?
Yeah,
in
it's
the
got
actual
extra. Yeah,
herbs
because
too?
the extra elements from it, and that makes sense because, and with even the air, because they eat carbon dioxide and put out oxygen. Plants, so they take in. Yeah, well, they breathe in what we breathe out, and vice versa. We breathe in what they breathe out. So I mean, it's the circle of life.
That's why it just made me wonder, because I'm just like, okay, when you put
I can't do the Lion King songs right now.
like a while ago when you started talking about the spell, and you got to put the water in the stuff and blah blah, and I'm like, okay, with herbal magic,
Too short.
at least with the you grow your herb, you got to water it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got to have
Mm-hmm.
some sunlight and stuff,
Yes.
so it would just be a lot
Say
better,
spell again.
a lot better.
Say a spell, why don't you?
I got that sign in the house that your mom got me that says that. Come in for a spell. I love that.
If y'all could see Eris's face right now,
Farron might not make it to the next podcast, everyone.
Oh yeah, by the way, Farron is Eris's daughter. So we are I have a daughter, Thorn, and Eris has a daughter, Farron, and Azera has a daughter who is Onyx. So
me
we're
and
like
Onyx were here last week.
exactly. So we're kind of like a family affair. Not that kind of affair. That sounded weird with the thing at the end.
Go to Jerry's Fair for that.
Yeah, it's not that kind of family affair. There'll be no what's the
We're
bouncer's name?
Southern.
There's no Steve.
We're in
There's no
Georgia, not
Steve.
Alabama.
Right. That's so messed up. Hey, we might have listeners in
Hang on.
Alabama.
I'm just saying, we're Southern,
Nice.
but we're not that Southern.
No, we're Southern. We're just
But
not
no
white
offense to y'all
trash.
Southern people.
Not white trash. Speak for yourself. I resemble that remark. Anyways, all right. So, okay. The next question. So we all basically like herb magic then, and Farron likes it the most. All right. So number 2. Do you have a green thumb and do you grow your own herbs?
Farron wishes she could.
It'd be a lot cheaper.
I have to go pay for my herbs. Already packaged.
I bought some today, but they were from the grocery store, so not from the
I
dude.
get mine at the grocery store too.
Not from a plug.
I have
Is that
grown
what they
some
call them?
herbs in my windowsill.
Yeah.
Memory issues are not allowing me to recall what time and it was time and something else that I had grown.
Time for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? But yeah, I grew some in my windowsill.
I used to, whenever I was a kid, I actually thought it was pronounced thyme because of the H. I did not realize the
I
H
thought
was
it was-
silent.
I thought it was theme because
Theme.
I did. I mean, you know how you got to sound it
It's a
out?
theme party.
I thought it was like theme. And
It has
my
a
mother would
Y,
always
not
be
a
like,
E.
reach up and get the time. And I'm like, you want me to get the clock?
The hell are you talking about, Mom?
How many minutes
I
do
do
you want me
have
to
a
grab?
It's 2:30, Mom.
those kits, you can get like it'll have like parsley and
Yeah,
thyme and different ones. So those actually work.
yeah.
Because I don't have a green thumb for nothing. I'm just
Parsley was
curious.
the other one that I was growing.
Your
Yes.
thumb looks a little green
Because
right now.
It's the nail polish. That's funny. You are wearing green nail polish, though. You do have a green thumb right now.
Raven gave me an aloe plant,
Baron.
and I think she kind of jujued it for me because I'm so thankful
Jujued.
because
Gave you what
it is
now?
still growing.
She's
When you gave me the
jujued.
aloe plant,
Oh yeah.
it's still growing, and I think between you and my deceased mother,
Uh-huh.
y'all are like praying for this poor little
No,
thing to
say it right.
grow.
Say it right. They're jujuing.
Juju, what? No.
No, I said you put some juju on it, and she's making fun of the way I
She
said
made
it.
no. She's making fun of the Jew thing. That's a.
You
You're a
jujued
Nazi.
it.
She's.
But anyway,
She's.
that one's growing, and I'm
Jewish
thinking
Jew.
about
Right.
getting one of those
Juju the choo choo.
where you give it, where got the little pots and everything,
Uh-huh.
and you put the herb in it, and it grows, just so I can say I've grown something.
Yeah. I mean, even
Not
if
what
you do
Farron
something-
wants me to grow, but actually something that I can actually partake
It
of.
can be any. You can even buy a plant. You know what I'm saying? That's already, like a parsley plant that's already got
Lavender.
parsley on
She'll
it.
kill it.
And use that.
Lavender plants.
Lavender. I've got lavender bushes out there. Actually, my mint, my mint that I'm growing, like the limbs will like go down and sprout roots and like spread. It spreads
your
good. So I'll
mint-
give you some mint.
Is your
that
mint
catnip
in mint
one?
condition?
You said
Mint
it's
to
wild
be.
catnip. You give it to me all the time.
Catnip.
Yeah, I want some of that because all the cats I have at my house.
You know how many more cats you'll have at your house if you eat some catnip?
It's sad.
Oh.
It's sad. I don't want to grow it outside. I don't have like 30 cats.
Cat island. Where
She's gonna be like the old lady in the
cats.
shoe.
Yes, people, I'm the crazy cat lady of the group.
It's not
I am
101
too,
Dalmatians.
but I'm also-
it's 101
You have 2
cats.
I'm
cats.
just the crazy lady of the group.
You have 2 cats. I have, don't even have me count right
25.
now. I probably got like 20 cats.
25.
But I love every one of them,
I do too.
except for that mean one.
She loves her cats more
What's
than
that mean
Carol
one's name?
Baskin loves hers.
Pan's a bastard.
Pan's an asshole.
No, actually, he let me love on him the other day. I took your mom home. He came up to me and let me pet him and was like rubbing on my hand. Like, oh, you little fucker. I thought you
Oh, and
wanted
her
me.
spouse,
He had gotten
He
into
has-
some herbs.
and her
He must have had
spouse
some catnip.
has the like channeling of Pan because Pan will let her spouse, let Onyx spouse, not Onyx, I got the wrong one.
Azera.
Azera, I'm sorry, I called you your daughter.
Janus.
Yeah, Janus.
Janus.
Yes,
Janus
him.
Meg.
He is like the cat whisperer, and he can the
Uh-huh.
most asshole cat in my house. He's just over there like, how you doing? And I'm just over there like, Pan, you asshole. You don't do this for nobody else.
I have trust issues because of Pan.
I believe
Me
it.
too, man. Me too. It's like, oh,
You always have
I thought
Momo to
animals
fall
loved
back
me
on.
until I
'cause
met
She's the
him.
most gentle kitty I have.
oh, I love Momo. She's so precious.
That's my special ed kitty.
I love her.
She was
though.
a rescue.
She's so pretty. She's
Rescue,
she's
don't shop.
unique, but she's a sweetheart.
I'll
She got a
just throw that
beautiful
out
soul.
there. Please rescue animals if
Yes,
you can.
rescue.
Don't shop.
Adopt.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt a pet.
Or you can
That's
adopt
right.
me.
I'm
for
giving
the
her
low,
up.
low price of $4.99.
I'm giving her up for
$499.
adoption. Anybody want her?
No, I'm good.
For only 10 cents a day, you could save this child from starvation.
From poverty.
Okay. We on what question?
The next question is, do you have a favorite remedy? Oh, wait. Yes, my question is, yes, or my answer for that other one, though, was yes. I don't really have a green thumb, but yes, I do grow my own herbs. I have kind of a yellowish, like an olive color thumb, probably. So.
Mine glows in the dark.
I want to get that checked out.
It's gangrenous. Anyways, all right, favorite remedies. All right, does everyone have a favorite remedy?
I like the honey for a cough and
Yeah,
tea for you can use tea for nausea.
yeah.
Clove
said
oil.
Clove oil.
Clove oil
toothache.
for toothaches. I'm telling y'all, if you have a toothache,
Mhm.
you can either put a whole clove on that bad boy, or you can put some clove oil on it. Oh, amazing.
Okay,
Put
now.
some yogurt on your coochie and your yeast infection will go away.
Oh my gosh, you did the yogurt one. Oh my gosh, you said it. I do not advise putting yogurt on your genitalia.
Make sure that it's plain Greek yogurt and that you put it on tampon and then you insert that bad boy right up there.
Oh my god.
Have you
It'll take away the
Don't
burning.
use the cheesecake flavored yogurt.
Plain Greek yogurt, no extra sugars added.
Definitely don't use the key lime flavor yogurt.
Have you
Or
been
strawberries.
vibing in that herbal remedy?
Yeah, she had some herbal tea before she came, I guarantee it. With that garfish that she was buying at the store.
Them damn garfish.
I love
Them
that.
sticky sweet garfish.
Ew. Do they swish around in the water since they're so sweet?
They do swish.
They're swish sweet.
Swishers.
Okay. Well, you know.
Your subscriber
They
count.
zig and they
zig and
zig and
they zag. Yeah. They're probably duchies. That's a bad one. That
I'm
was
just
that
sipping
thing.
my tea right here.
Oh my gosh. I don't have any more weed puns. That's messed up.
I really love them white owls outside.
Oh my god. What is this, Harry Potter? Yo, what?
Oh, was I having? No, I'm just.
Okay, Farron, we're going to the next
We're
question.
not talking about what you do to the owls, okay? Anyways, okay, so favorite
That
remedies.
was once, okay.
Okay, you talked about the yogurt, you talked about the clove oil, and you talked about the
honey
honey and the sugar.
sugar for hiccups,
Honey.
honey for a cough,
Uh-huh.
and then if you do a cup of hot tea, if you don't like tea,
Mhm.
and you need something sweet in it, put a little drop of honey,
Mhm.
and it'll help if you have an upset stomach on nausea.
Yeah.
And you know, in these times right now, you know, with a certain medical condition that is going around, they're saying that hot tea can really help relieve a lot of the symptoms.
Yeah, I think it's because of the heat. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that does have a lot to do with it.
Don't
I have to say one of my favorite remedies is oh hell, I don't know. I got a few, but like one of the ones that I remember that stands out for me was like whenever my kids were little, my ex-husband's mom told me about if they had colic or if they were real gassy to let them suck on a peppermint stick, and that totally works. It totally does. And also, if they were colicky, I always heard that you could give them like a little cap off of a whiskey bottle with whiskey in it, and it would put them to sleep. Which I never tried that one because that's kind of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, even if they're a
You can
baby.
take them in the
And it's kind
bathroom
of that's kind of like poison.
with the hot shower.
Yeah, the hot shower, and also if you have like some kind of a mint, I think. But I mean, these are all like home remedies too. So that's, I mean, you know they work because of science, you know.
And what is not eucalyptus?
Eucalyptus?
Yes.
Yes.
If you have like real asthma and you don't have
Mhm.
your inhaler, you can get that, and if you smell it,
Yeah.
it's supposed to help
It's
you.
like Vicks, basically, like
Put
Vicks
a
vapor
lemon
rub.
on your armpit to lighten up your discoloration.
Yes, I actually read that. I heard people do it to their buttholes too. It probably hurts on some of them.
Farron, for all our listeners out there that might have hickeys on their neck. What's good?
Intergalactic,
No, not intergalactic. Indiscretions was the word I was looking for.
intellectual.
But what's that about tea bags and hickeys? I know you know. I've seen you do it.
Hot tea bag.
I bet you know all about tea bags. I'm sorry, that was just a good one. I couldn't pass it up. Oh, that's messed up though. Yeah, yes. I know
tea
that.
bag will lift up. It does lighten the
You
hickeys.
gotta alternate between a hot ass tea bag and a piece of ice.
It's probably the tannin in the tea too, though. because tannin is like there's a lot of healing properties in tannin.
the
You know, they
Earl
say
Grey.
toothpaste would do
Use
it, but
that
toothpaste
Earl
don't
Grey
work, but a tea bag
bougie
works.
tea.
It's something it brings out like a bruise. I think they can do it on a black eye too. But
When I was
brings
in
out
school, I remember everybody say, if you have a pimple coming up, put toothpaste on it.
Facts. Don't work.
I don't know, but I had white polka dots all over my face, and ants ended up in my room. I was mad.
I had an uncle that could remove warts with a potato. I don't know how that worked, but you cut the potato, and apparently you rub it on the wart or something, and it'll make a wart go away.
That's
you can actually, I have fish tanks, and you can actually take certain leaves
right.
and put them in your fish tank when your fish are ill, and
Really?
the tannins, especially betta fish, really like the natural tannins that come out of certain leaves and
that's cool. That makes
other
sense,
things
though,
that you can put into the water.
Because in nature, if a leaf would fall in the water, they usually would eat it, or like the water, the properties would go into the water. That makes sense. Kind of like aromatherapy for fish. Or aquatherapy, I guess. The aroma because I can't smell.
I think plants, though, in general, have something. Have you ever noticed, like, if your cat's sick or your dog's sick, if they go outside and they'll try to eat, like take some certain grass, like what we call the weeds, and it'll help them from either make it, like sometimes if you just gotta be sick to feel better.
Yeah, but also if they have a hair ball, it'll help them throw it up.
It'll help that get up. I know when some of my cats outside, whenever they're doing their little hack game, they'll eat it, and then all of a sudden they off and it's up and we're good, and then they come back and I'm like, okay, we're not going to check out the grossness what they did, but
damn it, man.
All right.
I don't want to see it.
I just thought your shirt said Viagra.
No, it says Vader, Darth Vader, Lord Vader.
What is on your mind?
What the fuck does your shirt say Viagra?
Your lack of enthusiasm is disturbing.
She needs
It
some
looked like it
in tune with
said
the
either
elements.
Viagra or vagina.
No, it's no Viagra vagina or whatever.
We're gonna send you back out because you need.
This is an old shirt. I love this T-shirt.
We gotta find some remedies for her.
She had too many remedies.
I just need some vitamin D.
Yeah,
She needs some time communing with nature at the lake tomorrow. Have the sun, the wind.
Watch out for those gars. I hear they're vicious. All right, so the next question. Okay, have we talked about tea yet? No, we have not. What is your favorite kind of tea and what is its benefit? Chamomile?
Yeah, that one.
That one?
Because it's just relaxing.
Yeah, I agree.
And Farron lives with me, so you see where I need it.
Yeah.
I like green tea.
Green tea? I can't do green tea. It's too bitter. Like, I don't know.
Even that damn green.
It's like it's trying to eating a banana peel or some shit to me. It's not right. Okay, what about you, Zara?
I'm trying to think of what it is.
While you're thinking, I'll go and say I like chai because the cloves in it is. I mean, it's basically. I don't know. It's something about it though. It relaxes me, but it also is kind of like a stimulant. It relaxes me and stimulates me at the same time. But hot tea always relaxes me, so I love hot tea. Right, I had a cup last night.
What is
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say also with tea, another kitchen witchery is a form of divination called tasseomancy or tea leaf reading. That is something you might want to check out. There are a lot of kitchen witch type divinations, but that would be the most kitchen witchy one, I think. Tea leaf reading. Did you try it?
Yes, I enjoy matcha.
Matcha tea, I've heard of that.
It's powdered green tea leaves.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be good for digestion.
Right.
Very good for energy.
Uh-huh.
I like matcha in a latte. I like matcha just poured in as a
matcha tea.
It's just, there's so many different ways. You can even use matcha tea in baking and such as that. But
I think I've seen recipes that call for that actually, predominantly Asian recipes, I believe. I think that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Or Indian maybe.
Probably it is like a Japanese.
Oh, is it? Okay. And I'd have to say, I think I'd have to go with the chai though for my favorite. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I like my English breakfast tea the best, like for flavor, but for benefits, I would have to say chai because it kind of helps. It kind of helps me be able to focus, but also relax and not be stressed. So.
There's nothing like a cold fall evening with a hot mug of chai tea, just sitting outside, smelling and breathing, just feeling the crispness.
I can't wait.
There's a tea at Walmart. It's called Throat Coat for all you dirty witches.
Oh, you nasty thing. Did you just make that up?
No, it's real. It says
You
throat
made that
coat.
shit up.
No, it really says
That's
throat
dirty.
Coat. Throat coat for the throat goat.
Ew. That sounds terrible.
I don't know this person.
I don't know, but you need to lay off of the magical
So,
devil's lettuce.
Remember when she said that this one was Eris's daughter? She was just disowned.
Damn it, man.
She's up for adoption because she's an orphan now.
I see you at home.
Okay, so you have a besides throat coat. what was yours again?
Green tea.
Green tea. That's right. Okay. So the next question: have you ever made a tincture or a potion? Now, for those of you who don't know, a tincture is basically an alcohol-based derivative of plant properties. So basically,
Vodka count?
if you soak a plant in vodka and strain the liquid off and use that liquid for something, that would be a tincture. They have to have plant life in it, like a herb or something. Now, okay, gummy bears. If gummy bears grow on trees, that would be a tincture. If you did the gummy bears and vodka thing, so that would be a tincture.
I have not.
And then you could eat the bears.
I have not either.
I still got some in my freezer from like about 4 years ago when you brought them to the Halloween party. I don't know why I put them in the freezer.
They're probably toxic.
I haven't done that
Something somebody
before.
coughed up. Yeah, a tincture is actually a tincture or a potion. Potions could be used for anything. A floor wash could be considered a potion, but also even like that pot of stew, the coven stew that I made tonight.
Which
That's
was
a potion.
awesome.
Thank you. But I put a lot into that stew, and I took all day cooking it slowly, and I cut up all the vegetables myself and peeled whatever I needed to peel.
Put any children in?
Nah, fresh out of children. So
Well, she's got one for adoption for your
I'm good.
next
I'm
one.
good. I'm good.
Oh,
It only works good when they're innocent children, and
Yeah.
Sharon has lost innocence a long time ago.
Oh, Frankie, my little doggy familiar. I have a few familiars, but Frankie's my doggy familiar. Is being sweet and hogging up all the attention because he is an attention whore. But we love him. So. You ham.
Hey, I'm beautiful.
His name is
Mama.
Victor von Frankenstein, but I call him Frankie. Or Frankie Doodle Dandy. One of the two. Anyways.
He's
So-
a
If I have
boy.
created a potion or tincture, I haven't.
okay, it could be
I
anything.
haven't actively created
If
one.
you make your own cough syrup out of honey and herbs, that's a potion, basically.
Okay, then I have. Then I didn't know that was considered
Yeah.
that.
I think if you put the herbs in it and the honey, those are all organic. You put the intent, this is going to heal so and so. You know what I'm saying? I think that is a form of kitchen witchery.
So if I put an herb in my coffee every morning, because
Yes.
my intent as I make my coffee in the morning is not to kill anybody later on in the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. That's that's kitchen witchery.
I'm gonna have
Man.
to start putting basil or something in it.
It's better than like freshen up Xanax and put them in there.
What's our next one?
The next one. Okay. Have you ever collected wild herbs to use for anything? Like, now this doesn't have to just be herbs. It could be like berries. Now I'm not talking about like making blackberry cobbler or something like that, which we always did whenever I was a kid. But if you like one time I made some homemade cough syrup with blackberries in it, and it was actually pretty good because blackberries have a lot of vitamin C.
I've never done that.
I buy my herbs organic.
I bet you do. Okay. Now that could also be like if you're even if you grow like marigolds or calendula, a lot of people call it, that wards off like bugs and shit, like mosquitoes that runs them off and gnats and all that. It's kind of like citronella plants in that aspect.
Okay.
But if you were to go out there and pick some of the flower heads off of the marigold plants and, put it in a bottle with some alcohol and make some homemade bug spray out of it or whatever, that would be, I think, under that category.
Okay, well then almost as close. You know how when the gardenia blooms
Yeah.
and they smell so good?
Uh-huh.
When I used to work at the hospital, I'd take the blooms off, I'd put them in the ashtray of my car.
Oh, nice.
So then when you sit out there all day
Uh-huh.
and have kids like I had, that God forbid there might be a french fry you might have got from way under the seat,
Yeah.
and you open your car door,
It smells good.
you just have that hit you
Yeah.
with gardenias, and when you're going home, it was like calming,
Yeah. I can see that.
especially when you're going home to Farron.
Farron, the unholy one with her devil's lettuce. Okay. All right. So the next one, do you ever have moments or certain times whenever you just feel really connected to nature? This is kind of a little off subject, but it kind of goes in with the herbal part of kitchen witchery, I guess, and the plant part of
Yes,
kitchen
when
witchery.
I'm running outside naked.
when you're practicing skyclad, huh?
Mine's when I'm around water.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine would definitely be when I'm at the lake. I've got the sun shining on me, the breeze flowing through me, the dirt under the water at my toes.
I think
Other than that, anything that has to do with bugs, I'm good. And bugs are in nature.
well, for me, it's like I feel connected to nature every time I'm in nature when I can actually just stop and not have to be on my way to do something else. Or even if I just like was to walk out in the woods over there right now and where I did the haunted trail for Halloween. If I was just go over there and just by myself, I would feel connected. Anytime I just take a minute, I do.
I think
Anytime.
one of my memories with you being out in nature is when we all went to the play hole and you were out there. You found all kinds of treasures.
Oh, I did, yeah. I love exploring in nature. So, it's amazing.
It was
what
your
you can
element. It was your element. You were just like in your zone.
Nature, man. Nature is my zone.
Like I said, me, because I'm a fire sign.
Uh-huh.
So water.
I like nature, but I hate summer heat.
But it's like
it's kind of weird how that works.
It's like the water just cancels
Summer
out.
oven.
So when I'm real stressed, if I'm around water, it
Can't say that around her.
Yeah.
It's calming
She's
for me.
sensitive to ovens.
Oh my God.
Now, when it's fall, and like I said, there's a certain scent in the air, the crunch beneath my feet.
I love it. Fall is my favorite. I think it's because of Samhain or Halloween.
I think that's
Like
what
Christmas for me.
I feel
Like
most in
seriously.
tune with nature.
Yeah.
I'm
is in the
winter.
fall, and then a little bit in the spring when
Mhm.
you've got that cool air in the morning. The grass with the dew on it. So
I like fall and
moments.
winter. I like fall and
Mine's winter, and it's really fucked up when I fixed it. That just popped in my head when I said it. I think it's because I like it because everything's dead and everything's dying, and I just
Who hurt you?
the bad man hurt me.
It's because you're dead
But no,
inside.
you know,
Oh my
how,
God.
like, in fall you got the pretty leaves. They change colors, and then in spring
They feel
everything
pretty.
comes back to life, and then in winter pretty much everything dies and everything cold comes out.
Mhm.
And all three of y'all
I
know
have a
me.
question.
I love anything that's reference to a snowman, which is only referencing snow.
Do you
And it
want
just
your
shows
ice cold
me.
heart.
Yes.
I have a question. Do you feel pretty or do you feel dead inside?
Let it go.
Let it go. This is the musical episode. Right. All right.
Do you
So,
want to build a snowman?
what about you, Farron? Do you ever feel connected to nature?
One in the woods,
When you're in the woods, you kind
burying the body.
of... No, but seriously, like, do you ever, like, whenever you just sitting outside and you just, like, feeling the vibes, You ever get that?
I like to sit in cemeteries in the woods.
She does.
Okay, I'll get serious for her. When it's fall or winter weather,
Mhm.
and you can actually go out and do the bonfire.
I remember whenever we had the
and when
Halloween a couple
and
years
when
ago.
she
and
can
we all
actually
camped
be
over,
around,
everyone was out
like
there.
a fire,
Campfire for a
and
while.
it's just quiet, and her in the fire,
Yeah.
she can just sit out there and zone. She'll be
Yeah.
when she's around that, she's actually good.
Yeah. You remember year before last we did the big, remember drunk guy? Drunk guy in the pool? Yeah, that was fun.
I heard about that
Dude
one. I didn't
passed
get
out,
to
we put him in
come
a
to
kiddie pool because we were scared he was going to hurt himself. So we put him in a kiddie pool and he stayed there all night.
Hump the air.
Oh, and he was air humping.
that one. I heard about it.
Really
I didn't come to that party.
So, it's a hell of a party.
His new boyfriend. He met his boyfriend at that party. The inflatable Jason
Oh.
Voorhees.
No, that was Stan Blackman.
He's
So
dead back.
I had an inflatable mannequin, a black rubber dude, and he was just standing around all the time, so I named him Stan Blackman.
And that was Drunk Boy's new boyfriend.
He was a man, and the rubber that he was made from was black, and he always just standing around. So, standing
Blackman.
around, but I called him Stan Blackman. Anyways,
Stan Lee.
yeah, but we dressed him up like Jason. We put a Jason mask on him and gave him a fake machete. It was funny. But, okay, so for the next question, do you ever feel that nature has presented you with a special gift? Like maybe you were walking down a trail and you found something special that you feel like is out of the ordinary. Frank, move. That just like appeared there. That ever happened to any of you guys?
Yes.
kick him out the way. He'll move.
When my period comes, I'm like,
Oh my
it's
God.
a gift from Mother Nature.
It's a special gift from Mother
What was the
Nature.
question?
Do you ever feel like nature presented you with a special gift?
Yes, me.
Did you keep the receipt?
No, I did not.
Damn.
I know, like, if I'm out and it'd be like too quiet for me,
Mhm.
you know, I live in the boonies,
Mhm.
and then where my
Okay, so sorry, we had a little break in the recording there for a second. So basically, do you ever feel like nature has presented you with a special present? I get that a lot. I always feel like, I mean, I go outside and I find like old bones or something in the woods or something. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So yeah, I feel like nature's always presenting me with special presents. Or I find like a beautiful pristine feather, like one of our members, Celine and Damien, have been finding everywhere is feathers. But I do that sometimes too, and well, hasn't happened in a while, but or like whenever we did my mom's memorial and those two crows were sitting on top of that tree, and as soon as I got done and said, okay, we're all finished, and like brushed my hands off, and the two crows just took off and like they were just watching me fix my mom and stepdad's memorial garden in the yard there. It was like they were, you know, blessing it or something. It was crazy.
Well, besides my 4 kids, I think the one gift that really stands out are probably just those moments.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting outside the other morning and it was nice and cool out, and I had a hummingbird visit me.
Like when you were connecting with nature.
Yeah, but it was just, what is it with hummingbirds that they're good?
Well, there are different things about hummingbirds. I've heard that they are like butterflies in that they're like messengers from the other side or something like that.
See, I've had the hummingbird
butterflies,
visit me
dragonflies.
a few times now
Yeah.
in the morning, and
Mm-hmm.
it's magical.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. For me, it's like bats and crows. If I see bats and ravens or bats and crows, then you know, because I'm always seeing the two. That's like the two that stick out for me. Yeah, bats and ravens or crows.
And every time my guppies have babies,
Oh.
I'm like, I birthed those.
Oh, you little fishies.
I'm the fish person.
What about you, Farron?
Cats.
Cats? Cats are like nature's gift to you?
Yeah.
I like cats too.
It's weird. I can go anywhere and all of a sudden the cat just appears on nowhere.
Pussy magnet.
Was it that purple sticky?
That's a catastrophe. It's a bad
Probably
joke.
ranch because I've been dressing.
Oh no, that was bad. That was bad. All right, so on to the next question. Does anyone own a cauldron?
No.
No?
I have one of my favorite things to make is this vegetable soup, and it's a vegetable beef soup. And I know it's not a cauldron, but when I pull out my big pot out of the cabinet, and I know I'm about to make this, between that and even my crock pot, you know?
Yeah, well, basically, a crock pot is basically a modern cauldron with electricity. I mean, you don't need no fire. But, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a modern witch, dude. Nothing wrong at all with that. I have a crock pot, but I never use it. But I got my cauldron, I have a little cauldron that I've had for years, and it's probably about like a good size, I don't know. It's like bigger than a cereal bowl, you know, but I'm giving that to my youngest daughter. And I've got a big cauldron that holds like 3 gallons, and I've got coven stew in it right now. So, and I will be using that. We will be using that for coven gatherings and stuff. But mostly for like preparing brews and stuff like that, and food, of course, because you know, food can be magical if you put a lot of intent and goodwill and the right vibrations from certain herbs and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Okay, now the next question, and I know for a fact that Eris does not have a cauldron. Well, she has one that I gave her. It's not cast iron, it's brass. She's got a brass cauldron that I gave her that I had for a long time. because I ordered my new one. It's actually pretty big though. It's kind of nice. But there she is. I was just telling them about your brass cauldron. We were talking about, does anyone have a cauldron?
Oh yeah.
So I was just telling the listeners out there that you have a brass cauldron and I have a cauldron, but otherwise Azera and Farron do not yet have cauldrons. They're working on it. Okay, but Azera does have a crock pot, and Farron also has crock pots too. So basically, yeah, y'all got cauldrons.
But some of the things
I got a wax melter. Does that work?
some of the things Farron be cooking is magical.
I know, that's right. That girl can put down in the kitchen.
I taught her well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though for years she couldn't even boil spaghetti.
Hey.
Make fudge.
That is just not even happening.
She can't even make fudge in the
I
microwave.
can't.
Really?
You know that box fudge you get every year at Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Like 3 years in a row, I tried.
Mm-hmm.
I made a homemade cake, but I can't do box fudge.
Dang.
It's like it's the devil or something.
It's the devil's fudge. Instead of the devil's lettuce. Ew, that sounds gross. It's like his poo. All right, so the next question. Apothecary. Does anyone have an apothecary or what they would like to start building up as an apothecary? Basically, which would be like a collection of herbs that you use for magic and medicine. Which I have a pretty good size one, everyone knows. It's like my passion.
Most of the stuff that I have in my apothecary are the herbs that you've given me so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got 7 or 8 little bags with rose petals and different herbs. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got, the ones that you've given us.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to try those kits where you can grow the parsley and the different
Yeah.
ones. And
See, that'd be cool. Yeah, like a herb garden set.
Start out small and see what
Yeah.
I can get.
Yeah. And that is something else, though. In the coven, we usually try to take care of each other. And if I order herbs, I usually order in bulk so I can share with everyone if they need them. So, all right. The next one, number 11. Have you ever healed a person with kitchen witchery? And this kind of goes back to like the remedy thing we were talking about earlier. So I'm thinking that all of us probably have
Yes, clove
healed
oil.
someone with kitchen witchery. Yeah. Okay. So number 12. Do you have any kitchen witch tips for baby witches that are wanting to learn more about kitchen magic? Any pointers that you might offer?
Definitely
like
look up, research.
Yes,
There's
yes.
a lot of books
Mm-hmm.
and kits out there available.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get a cookbook.
Yeah, cookbook. Hey, for real though. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I think everybody in their family, they just know it as home remedies, but if they actually, as what we were talking about before the podcast started, when like bee stings, how they use like the snuff or whatever out of their mouth or coffee grounds.
Yeah.
It's some of it, they won't even think of it like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh, well, grandma used to do this and grandma used to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think my piece of advice would be do your research, and if you want to learn about herbs, there's a few good places to start. The first one being the internet. The second one is this very old book by a man called Nicholas Culpeper, and it is called The Herbal Materia Medica, and it's basically what they would use way back in the day before the 1900s. They would use this to make medicines with, but also there's other remedies in there that don't seem quite as scientific medicinally. So
Yeah, definitely research it because you don't want to ingest something that...
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So just kind of mind your P's and Q's. You know what that means, right? Y'all ever heard that saying, mind your P's and Q's?
Yeah.
Find sports. It's crazy. But all right, so number 13, the last question everybody knows about number 13. How number 13 goes. It's the smart ass sarcastic question that usually pegs the stereotypes against witches. So to this week's question, number 13, how fast does your broom fly?
Depends on who I'm chasing.
Right.
Depends on how much trouble he's in, how much force I chunk it.
And with Farron,
It depends on if I can find it, because sometimes I'll be parking that bitch and I don't know where it is.
hey, just the other day, I was riding down there.
On her broom.
I seen a broom. I had to call everybody, but I didn't call you. Was that yours? I know you'd be losing it.
It probably was.
But I called these two and checked on them, and everybody else was where they were supposed
Did you
to be.
get yours?
Yeah.
Do you want one, Favorite? A broom? Look over there. I ordered some. They sent me extra. You can have one of those little ones there.
Please don't try to fly, because you've been having
Don't fly it,
problems
though.
with your cars. We don't need you to have problems
All
with
right.
She
your broom.
expects you to do extra housework with your broom.
Done beating her upside the head.
All right. So that will wrap up the 13 questions.
Oh, wait a
Everybody's.
minute. What was yours?
Oh, mine. My broom is currently out of commission. I've been having to use the vacuum cleaner, so it's pretty fast.
Is that what's been grooming by my house here lately?
Yep. It's the dirt devil. Yep.
I prefer a Roomba.
Roomba. It sounds like a dance. Isn't that other than the rumba is a
I like
dance,
the
right?
Dyson because he's got that little ball you can play with.
You like playing with balls, don't you?
I would have expected
Oh,
that from
no.
Farron.
You're as bad as Farron with the tea bagging.
She is my daughter. I can't deny that sometimes.
All right, ladies and gents, that completes this episode 6 of Hex Appeal with Raven Nightshade and her homies.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See y'all later.
Free Joe Exotic.